Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight's such a beautiful, peaceful night. I want to welcome you into our March full moon ceremony. I couldn't be more delighted to be with you. And tonight is a full moon in Libra. Yes. Doesn't it feel good? There's something about a full moon in Libra that for me is so much about joy and happiness and connection. Today was my son's 14th birthday party. It was beautiful. It was simple. It was outside. It was 80 degrees today in Los Angeles. So if I seem like I'm glowing, I've had just the most beautiful day. I really, truly have. My kids were happy. You know, I'm one of those moms who kind of goes over the top for everything. So at first I was a little disappointed that I couldn't do more for my son, because we're still really trying to stay safe from our pandemic. But anyway, it turned out to be a beautiful day. And so I want to thank all of you who've sent sweet birthday wishes. My baby! His official birthday isn't until Wednesday. He's turning 14 on Wednesday. But I had a wonderful day. And I hope that you did too. Honestly, it couldn't have been more fun. You really couldn't have been more fun. And, it was one of those days. Do you ever have those really great weekend days? Sometimes my weekends go by so fast that I feel like I'm chasing them. But today it was like syrupy. This day was really long and fun, and I don't feel like it's gone by too fast. I feel like I had a nice, long, syrupy morning, got to enjoy my coffee, and got to have a nice, long lunchtime, with the kids, with their friends, and then like a nice, long, early evening, too. It's just been so beautiful. So anyway, I know. So thank you for being here. So this is, if you're new, is anybody new to... Anybody not been to full moon before? Anybody new to Sage Goddess? Can you just say hi, or I'm new, or you're talking to me? I always like to welcome anyone who's new. I've been doing online full moon ceremony for a decade. So if you enjoy tonight, there's literally 10 years of this that you can watch. They've changed a little bit over the years, but anyway. And happy birthday to all of you who are celebrating birthdays too. I love my Aries. If I could have chosen a sign for my son, I would have chosen Aries. I sure do love Aries. So if you're an Aries, look at this. We've got quite a few friends tonight. I'm so glad to welcome you in. Look at that. For Jax, is the first full moon ceremony. Look at that. So welcome in. Anyway, you won't feel new for long. We've got a great community. People are so nice and genuinely. So my team, like tonight's their day off, but they're here with me to support us for full moon. So everybody at Sage Goddess takes the moon really seriously, as you may have seen. So we are all really excited to welcome you and tell you that tonight is a really exciting night. So full moons, let's talk about what full moons are for. Okay, and if you're an Aries, I just want to tell you this is your season. And if you're a Libra, I want to tell you this is your moon. So what are full moons for? It's nice to recap sometimes, especially if you've been doing this for a long time, like I have. Sometimes it's nice just to talk about what's a full moon about? Why are we even gathering tonight, right? We all kind of take it for granted sometimes after too long. So people have been gathering at the full moon for as long as we have written record, at least as far back as Egypt, but we know it was before then too. It was in Sumeria, Mesopotamia. Because our ancestors looked up and the night sky is bright, right? We get this big full moon, and then sometimes the moon goes dark. Well, why does that happen? Why do we have the moon's light sometimes, and then we don't have the light other times, and sometimes we have eclipses, right? And so the history of astrology tells us that we've been tracking the movement of our major planets for at least 2,000 or 3,000 years before the birth of Christ. Now, I would argue to you it's a lot longer than that, but that's about as long as we've been tracking full moons, right? And so that we have written record for. So my point to you is tonight's been important, not just for the last 10 years or 30 years or 100 years, but tonight's been important for the last, at least as far as we know, 4,000 to 5,000 years. And it's because when the moon is full, the tide is high. Are you guys learning? Do you guys know what's happening at the Suez Canal? Is anybody on top of this? It actually goes before Egypt, believe it or not. The tracking of the planets goes before Egypt. Anybody familiar with what's happening in the Suez Canal right this minute? They're actually counting on the full moon to create a high tide, which will try to move that one ship that's blocking the Suez Canal. I don't know how many billions of dollars a day it's costing us who import that the Suez Canal is blocked. Have you heard about this? So anyway, keep an eye on the Suez Canal. It's an interesting story that's happening. And did they finally free the ship? Holy smokes, you guys. So this isn't a Sage Goddess problem. This is a global problem. But do you know I have stones sitting in the Suez Canal? I literally have stones for you that you're waiting for sitting in the Suez Canal right this very minute on that boat that's blocking the... This is how this stuff gets real. Anyway, so this full moon is going to hopefully facilitate the rising of the tide and the shifting of that blockage so that everything can move through the Suez, right? Is it 10 billion a day? Holy smokes. Anyway, so you'll be able to say, if you get stones from Sage Goddess in the next couple of months, you'll be able to say, I got a stone from the Suez Canal. No joke. So anyway, let our crystals go, right? I would like to think that the crystals are raising their own vibration that's shifting the boat, but that's probably not true. Anyway, the full moon can help a lot of things, and not just your energy, but it can actually create a rising tide that will shift a blockage in a major canal on our planet. Right? I know. We were teaching our kids about the Suez Canal over breakfast on Friday, and Nick was like, no way, like this is actually happening? And we're like, yes, this is actually happening. So anyway, cheers to a full moon. So here's what I want to tell you. A couple things first. If you are new, one of the things we do for you as a gift at sagegoddess.com, which is my website, is we make full moon worksheets for you. So these are free for you to download. And I'm joined tonight by Claire, Hannah, and Alexis. I want to say thank you guys for joining us on a Sunday, on your day off, which I really appreciate. It tells you the stones, herbs, and oils to work with for this particular full moon. It gives you some great journaling questions. And then the second page tells you a little bit more about what to expect when the moon's in Libra, right? She's a gracious host. She's making you feel at home. She's about pleasure. And then gives you some really good journaling questions about beauty, nurturing your spirit, all of the energies of Libra. So these are free for you to print out at sagegoddess.com. Yes, and so tonight is not just a full moon in Libra. Tonight is Palm Sunday. Tonight is the night after Passover, right? If you celebrate the Jewish holidays, which we do in my family. We also celebrate the Christian holidays in my family. And if you celebrate the Hindu holidays, this is Holi, right? Which is the festival of colors and the triumph of light over darkness in India. The Holi festival is so gorgeous, and we've celebrated Holi with you many times over the years. So tonight is a vortex of energy. Millions and millions and millions of people around this earth of ours are either celebrating liberation or freedom from fear or triumph of light or redemption and salvation ahead of Easter weekend next weekend. And so soak it up. Even if you don't participate in any of those holidays, I promise you, just by being a person on this planet, you're receiving that vibration. And so this is a holy, sacred weekend. If you follow me on Facebook, which you're welcome to, my personal page under my real name, Athena Parakis, I posted a poem today about all of this. But this is really a powerful weekend. Even if you don't celebrate Easter, Passover, or Holi, it doesn't really matter. They're raising a vibration on the planet that you can participate in. Isn't that cool? So anyway, I'm so glad you're here tonight for the work that we're about to do, and I'm grateful that you're on this planet right now to share this energy with me. Yeah, this is why it feels so different right now, because so many people consider this. I mean, when you think about it, Passover is one of the highest holidays in the Jewish faith, right? Easter is one of the highest holidays in the Christian tradition. Holi is one of the sacred days in the Hindu path. So this is for, and you just think about Hindus, Christians, and Jews, right? How many millions of people that is, and then think about the energy and the vibration and frequency that raises. It's really, really special. So yeah, my posts are always public on my personal page. You're welcome to follow me or just go check out the poem and share it if you like it. It's just a nice way of making everybody feel included. So tonight we are working with, each full moon we work with a different goddess. And tonight we're working with the goddess of the dawn. And I get to tell you a story, because you know how I love stories. I was raised on Greek mythology. My dad is from Crete, and when I was young, he worked a lot. So on his day off, he would take me to the library, and we would get mythology books, and he would read me Greek mythology. And I promise you, I probably wouldn't even be here with you tonight if it wasn't for that, because that love of mythology and that love of reading and the stories and keeping them alive is so much a part of the work that I do at Sage Goddess. So I credit my dad, I really do, with even us being here tonight. And Eos, the goddess of the dawn, is one of the goddesses that I learned about when I was very young. Yeah, Eos, E-O-S, Eos. Does the word Eos remind you of a certain holiday that's coming next Sunday in the Christian pantheon? Because Eos, in the Germanic tradition, Eos in Greek became Eostre, right? E-O-S-T-R-E in the Germanic tradition. And Eostre became Eostar. And Eostar became Ostara, right? In the pagan tradition, what we now call Wicca, right? And then all of that is the connection to Easter. Eos, the goddess of the dawn, is the reason we celebrate Easter. Now, I know that's tough for some people, because a lot of people want to believe that the Christian traditions are the first traditions, but they're not. I'm not saying they're not true. I celebrate Easter, and I was raised Christian, and I still really value my roots. But Christianity is not the first iteration of this energy of Easter, and it really predates it, and it goes much farther back than that. So tonight we're really studying the beginnings of Easter, which is the goddess of the dawn. And this is her. So Eos is the Greek goddess of the dawn, right? And do you know who her sister is? We gave you selenite in your kit this month because Eos's sister is Selene, who's the goddess of the moon. Her brother is Helios, the goddess of the sun, the god of the sun. And so selenite is named after the moon goddess Selene in Greek, because they thought she was trapped in there. The Greeks couldn't figure out why the stone was so shiny. So they just thought, oh, the goddess of the moon lives in there, right? So the reason I gave you a selenite wand, which we are going to decorate tonight, is because of Eos and Eos's sister. Isn't that cool? I know, I love mythology so much. Okay, so the legend is, and you have this on your card that came with your set too, the legend is that Helios, every morning she rises from the east in her horse-drawn chariot to open heaven's gates so her brother Helios can ride through and bring light to the world. She represents new beginnings, fresh starts, and renewed energy. And when you work with Eos, you're reminded that the time of darkness is complete. The time of the light has begun. And so it's time for us, especially in the northern hemisphere, to work with these energies of hope and inspiration and opening and awakening. She's the goddess of the light. Now, Eos is a cougar. So we did give you a little cougar-y kind of velvet situation. This is the altar cloth that you got with your kit. Now, why is she a cougar? She is the original cougar. You know what a cougar is? Technically, I guess I'm a cougar because my husband's younger than I am. Cougars are older women who like men who are a little bit younger than them. Hits a little close to home for me. My husband's 6 years younger than I am, but I've been with him for 20 years, so it's not like this happened yesterday. Anyway, so Eos really took a liking to Aphrodite's lover. And, you know, most of us girls can probably agree That's not the greatest thing to do. You know, you see somebody and they're with somebody else, that's not exactly the person you want to go after, right? You're kind of asking for trouble. Anyway, Eos, I'm giving you like the Cliff's Notes, right? Because it's a long story. Eos found Aries, and Aries was hot. But Aries was with Aphrodite. But Eos was like, I don't care. I'm a little bit younger, you know. So she went for it, and Aphrodite found out and wasn't very happy about it. So, you know, as goddesses do, not so much these days, but back then, so Aphrodite cursed her. And so Aphrodite cursed Eos to continually fall in love with very young men who could not satisfy her needs. Yeah, stay, you know, single men are okay, right? Single younger men are okay. But, you know, you don't go after other people's men. I have gone after other people's men before. It's when I was younger, and it's not a great thing to do. Have I fallen in love before with with other people's property? I have. It's not the best path. Karmically, it's not a good thing to do. It's not anything that I do these days. Anyway, and mine was single when I captured him from his crib. I know. So anyway, that's what happened to Eos. And so Eos tends to fall in love with other younger boys and men. Do you have any questions? That's kind of the legend of Eos and what happened to her. It's the Cliff's Notes. So tonight what we're doing with our ceremony, since we're working with this kind of light-bringing, life-giving energy, because we're working with the energy of the dawn, right? This is the force of initiation. We're working with the energy of beginning anew, and we're working with the energy of snowdrop, which is the first flower of spring in most places, and this is the first sign of life after winter. So we're working with the energies of staying open. Yeah, Dave was 20 when I met him, and I was 26. That's not that bad, right? He was a mature 20-year-old. My favorite story about me and Dave is that when we went on our first trip together, he was too young to rent a car, so I had to rent the car. It doesn't happen to most couples. I was like, nope, grandma over here, I'll rent the car. Because he was 20 and I was 26, and you can't rent a car until you're, I think, like 25 or something like that. So I was always like the car renter on our vacations. It all works out. Honestly, Dave is like a 95-year-old man. So truly, he's the older and more mature person in our relationship. And if he was sitting right here, he would tell you that. He has to tell me all the time, like, you know, act your age. So anyway, okay. So now you know the energy of tonight's ceremony. So because we celebrate at the full moon, because we celebrate completion, fruition, and manifestation, okay? And because we breathe life into visions at the full moon, this is what we're doing tonight, okay? So I want you to ask yourself, what do you need to breathe life into? What balloons are you inflating tonight? That's literally what happens at the full moon. What are you going to push energy toward? I would like for you, I love how you guys can like understand where we're coming from. See how many of us have that in common? I would like for you to pick 3 things tonight. And under a Libra full moon, you are advised to choose creative projects, relationships, or professional goals. Those are really the 3 buckets. Or areas where you need balance. So that can be health, happiness. But at the full moon, I want you to imagine that you have 3 deflated balloons. And you can breathe life into them with all this light energy that we have tonight. So where do you really want to focus your energy? You can't, you know, we're infinite beings, but we're also finite beings. And we have to give our energy and focus and attention to things in a direct way to manifest. So if I said to you tonight, you got 3 balloons you can blow up with tonight's energy, what would it be? Where do you want to put that energy? I chose mine before I even, you know, turned on the computer tonight because I've been thinking about this. What do I really want to push energy toward? And you might say, okay, well, what if I want to choose 10? Okay, but I think you dilute the energy. I'd like to see you focus on 3 things. I really want this job, this kind of a relationship, and this kind of creative enterprise. Or I really want this new business to grow. I really want this relationship to thrive. And I really want this thing that I'm creating to be successful. You know, and really try to focus it. So I want you to take a few minutes while I'm kind of clearing the energy to think about what that's going to be for you. And I want you to think about desire. What do you want? What do you want to, right? Take the lid off the box tonight. And if it can be anything, because it kind of can, you know, Libra goes with the flow. I'm Libra rising, like we're here for it, right? So, and especially if you're a Libra moon or sun, tonight is just an invitation for you, right? To really breathe life. It's an air sign, so it creates all of that room for movement and transformation and clarity, right? I love it. Liz says, need the energy for her sobriety, and cheers to that, by the way. Love you, see you. Celebrating you. You can, and yes, Colin, you can put it all into one thing. I'm doing 2 tonight, Colin, just so you know. So even though like the invitation is to 3, I'm always the one who's gonna try to pack the energy into fewer things, because I've noticed that it's sort of like if you have a ton of fertilizer, you know, and you've got a ton of plants, are you going to fertilize everything a little bit, or are you going to prioritize and fertilize these 2 more because you want those crops, but these 10 less, kind of thing? So I try to be diligent with how I spread my energy. You're Libra moon, Lisa. So tonight's so good for you guys. If you're Libra sun or Libra moon, you're really going to feel the energy more than anybody else tonight. It's a great question from Krista. Can I manifest for my husband? My rule, Krista, is you can only manifest for you. Focus on you. The best way, in my experience, to help other people is to do your work. You know, when you change, everything else changes by definition, right? Because people are in relationship with you energetically. So if you heal, they get better. But you can't really wish for someone else to grow, expand, heal, change, transform, because it can interrupt their free will. My 2 cents, you know what I mean, in terms of how I do my work. Beauty rituals are so good for tonight. I've been doing a lot of like under Libra full moons. I like to do, because Libra is very Venusian, right? It's a Venus ruled planet, so or sign. So I like to do a lot of, like, I did a face mask this weekend and do some different beauty treatments. It's a great time to focus on beauty, get some new beauty products if you want, or try different things, make your own. That's all good for this time of the month under Libra. Okay, so. Tonight we're going to be crafting. So if you have your supplies, I want you to gather them. I'm going to show you this. So I kind of prepped you on this, but in case you missed my videos or my live or anything about this, I decided to put a couple of flat-backed stones onto my wand, and then with the little packets of stones that I gave you, I'm going to be decorating around the, these are called cabochons. This is not a cabochon, it's just a crystal that's flat. So I could glue it to my wand and it would stay. And it looked like a little heart-shaped quartz point. So I just went through my own collection and grabbed a couple of things that felt aligned in terms of the energy. And then I'm going to attach some additional stones. And then at the end of our time together tonight, I'm going to wrap this sari ribbon around the wand. And then this becomes a tool that you can use to open your circles and close your circles exactly the way I do. To clear energy, because selenite instantly clears energy but doesn't need to be cleared. So it's a really powerful energetic tool. So yeah, and if you want to craft with us, you can grab a couple things. Otherwise, you can just watch and craft later. You can use your own. You can use a branch from your garden and some crystals that you have. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. But if you're going to craft under this full moon, I would do it in the next 24 hours. That's kind of the window that you have with this specific energy. Yeah. Oh, I love rutilated quartz. I like it for manifestation too. My favorite manifestation crystals, I love quartz. Basic quartz is great for manifestation. I love yellow apatite for manifestation. A lot of you have been with me for a long time, so you know all of these. Our Vedzonite is fantastic for manifestation. Others that I like green aventurine. brings luck, fertility, new opportunities, and growth. So that's another good one. I love rutilated quartz, as was suggested in the feed. My favorite glue, I usually call it E6 million. It's E6000. I have a lifetime supply of this at my house because I'm constantly gluing things to other things. I have a habit of gluing crystals to stuff. If it's sitting still for too long in this house, I'm going to glue something to it. So I like E6000. Some people like the Gorilla Glue. It's not my favorite, but people use it. And then you can also use just a glue gun, which works too. So kind of up to you what you prefer. Yeah, so those are all suggestions if you want to do some crafting with us. So I'm going to go ahead and light my candle. The perfume for tonight is called Song of Eos. Did you like it? It's my favorite of the full moon perfumes that we've made for you so far. And I'm going to tell you, it's super citrusy. It's orange blossom with bergamot. Do you know why that's important? Orange blossom neroli comes from the white petals of the orange tree, right? It's pure orange blossom. Orange blossom and bergamot are two manifestation oils for success, and they're both in this blend. We put them in there because, again, we assume under this Libra full moon that you're working on manifestation, specifically, again, for relationships, beauty, harmony, creativity, all of the Libra energies, right? This also has lavender in it to relax you. Tangerine is here for happiness. So there's three primary citrus notes, and then petitgrain. Petitgrain is for manifestation. Petitgrain is also for rest and sleep. So this, in addition to being a manifestation perfume, can also be something you keep by your bedside and spray your sheets with it before bed. Neroli and petitgrain are both considered aphrodisiacs. So that felt right for Eos too. Oh my God. C Party said, my Meyer lemon tree is blossoming. So is mine. I have a 40-year-old Meyer lemon tree on my property. It was one of the things I really loved about the house when I bought it. And she's in bloom right now. You wouldn't know she's 40. She produces about over 100 lemons a year. And I get to drink one almost every day from it. So I'm glad you have one too. Isn't she beautiful? So I'm going to finish anointing. So this perfume, I put a little bit at my third eye for what I know, at my wrist for what I do, and then without flashing you, a little bit at my ankles for where I go. And when you anoint your third eye, your wrists, and your ankles, you cover all the meridian points, or what we call the chi lines, so that the energies of those oils connect to the lines of energy in your body. So we have some Song of Eos at sagegoddess.com if you missed it and you'd really like it. We have some for you. And then I'm going to light my candle to get us started. And your plate for tonight, we give you a stone plate with every kit. And a sticker too, in case you want to. I keep these in my notebook. I love stickers, and we make our stickers in-house. The plates that we give you, this one is sunstone, which is the stone of leadership. And so there's a couple different things that you can do. What I'm doing for tonight under this full moon is something a little different than I've done before. I have decided to charge my pendulum and a few pieces of my jewelry during this ceremony. And these are pieces of jewelry that are relatively new to me, and that I want to be incorporating more into my daily usage. And so what I've decided to do is work with the energy of this full moon and charge those pieces. Sometimes I'll sit on the disc to bring the energy through my root chakra up through my central column. But this is what I'm going to be doing for tonight. So I want to inspire you, if you have your disc and you want to charge it with energies of strength, renewal, leadership, focus, new beginnings, initiation energies, that's a great way to do it. Why sunstone for Libra? Because of Eos, Stephanie. And it's interesting that you asked that because, Eos in Greek is aurora in Latin. And sunstone is the gemstone associated with Eos because she's the rising of the sun at dawn. And she's the sister, just in case you missed the beginning, anybody, she's the sister of Helios. So he is the god of the rising sun, and she is the goddess of the rising sun, which is the equivalent to your aurora. So this is actually a perfect charging plate for you. And again, the plate is made of sunstone, which is the stone that we associate both with aurora in the Roman tradition, which is a Latin interpretation, and Eos in the Greek tradition. Yeah, isn't that cool? So it's perfect for you guys. And like I said, especially for Stephanie. Stephanie's daughter, her name is Aurora. And so she's more from the kind of Roman tradition, and we're working with the Greek tradition tonight. But it's two sides of the same coin. You know what I mean? So the energy is completely relevant for you too. Yeah. I love that. So I want to bring your energy into present time. And just start to clear your mind, roll your shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath. And I'm just gently playing the sacral chakra bowl for you. This is to stimulate your connection to your creativity. This is the season, you guys. It's just beginning. And I know we've been through a pandemic. I know it. And I know it's been a long year. But you gotta rise up like it's something new tonight. You know? Connect with hope. Connect with faith. Connect with optimism. This Libra full moon is going to pull you into a place of hope and positivity. If you can allow yourself to connect there, do you know? It requires your permission. But if you're ready to turn the corner, tonight's a good time to do it. There's so much energy. And start to really extend that breath. A deep inhale. Ready? And exhale. Sacral. I know the bowls are delayed because of COVID. We're working on it. The whole planet's in a place, but that's why we gotta call this light and this energy in tonight. Deep long breath. Nice extended exhale. Moment. This is your time. Nowhere else to be, nowhere to go. Just opening the space for you. Just opening the space. So connected to your breath. So good. So good. So important. Bring it back to basics, you know? It's breath. It's life. It's beauty. It's desire. It's hope. It's optimism. It's all of that. And go ahead and fall asleep. Take a nap. If you were here, I'd rub your head. I'd put a pillow under your knees and tell you to go ahead and fall asleep just for a little while. I'll wake you up when we're done. Oh, I love that. You kiss that aurora for me. You kiss that beautiful girl for me. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I want you to gather up your crafting supplies if you'd like to craft with me. And I hope that you will. I'm going to move back just a little bit so you can see my crafting hands a little bit better. Oops. I was anointing with my Eastern perfume today. And I do like to, whoops, my little cabochon moved. I do like to keep everything on a paper plate. I know it's not super fancy and as my grandma would say, gussied up, but it keeps my, you know, my cloth and everything from getting glue and other things on it. So I do like to make sure I'm working on a surface that it's okay if I spill things or and then what I'm going to do too is I'm going to take just a little bit of the perfume from tonight. I always just spray it on my wrist first. And I'm going to take just a little bit of that perfume and I'm going to anoint my selenite wand with it because the perfume is pure essential oil. It's an alcohol-based perfume, but it's got real oils in it, and so I really do want those oils to connect with the energy of my selenite. So I put that in there. You can choose to anoint with any blend that feels really good to you. Yeah, and the stones that came with your kit tonight are pyrite, which is a solar plexus stone for confidence, rhodochrosite, which is a heart healer, and then you have moonstone, which of course for the full moon, right, is manifestation, completion, fruition, all of those energies. So what I want you to do, if you want to follow how I do it, this is how I do it. I like to spill my little stones out in piles. I keep them separate. You can mix them all together. I always say don't Martha Stewart this. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I like to kind of spread mine out a little bit so that I can play. And you're going to get your fingers dirty and you're going to get glue on you, and you know what? Enjoy. This is like grown-ups playtime, right? So don't worry about making a mess. That's why I have a plate and I don't worry about it. Okay. E6000 dries kind of fast. If you want it to dry super, super fast, use a glue gun. Do you know what I mean? Like that's going to be your fastest dry. If you just want a quick win, go ahead and use a glue gun because that's what's going to make you feel best probably because it's going to dry super fast for you. So for my cabochons, just so you know, and what I love about E6000 too is if you do a little mess up, like over here I kind of messed up a little bit, it just beads up and falls off. It's not like it's permanently ruined. Do you know what I mean? So I really love it. It's very forgiving. So what I'm going to do, because I chose fluorite here, which is all about my soul's path and my soul's purpose. And then down here I chose quartz for magnifying energy. Around this fluorite, I'm going to put rhodochrosite. Because right now my purpose is connecting more deeply to love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a ring of glue around my fluorite, first on one side, and I'm just going to kind of push some crystals into that glue. And then what you can do is just kind of tilt it and the rest will come off. Let me see if you can see that. Do you see how I'm just kind of pushing them in? And the nice thing with E6000 is you have like a minute or two before it kind of sets. So you can move them around a little bit if you're not super happy with where they're positioned. Now I don't overthink this. I let the crystals kind of go where they're gonna go. I don't Virgo this. I put glue down and I place a crystal in. But what I do with intention is I focus on the energy of the stone. And this stone is all about love, healing my heart, opening my heart to love, receiving love, enjoying love, allowing love to come, creating an invitation for love, right? And so I'm attaching these crystals here. Now, if you're not crafting with me tonight, that's okay. What I would like you to focus on right now is close your eyes and imagine that I'm doing this for you. Imagine I'm doing it for you. If I was sitting here crafting this exactly for you and telling you it's time for you to welcome love in, and that love is your purpose, and that we're going to expand that purpose around you tonight, what would that look like for you? Would it mean that new people come into your life? Would it mean that new opportunities come into your life? Do you see how it's coming together? Isn't that pretty? And just taking a breath. No way, Manda Panda. Our families are from the same place. You know what's really funny is when I was a professor, one of the guest speakers who came to my class every year was Michael Dukakis. Do you remember him? He was a presidential candidate, I believe, in 1988. Well, Michael Dukakis and I became fast friends because his family and my family are from the same village in Crete. The Pirakises and the Dukakises knew each other. And so when I met Michael Dukakis, which was about 25 years ago, he came to my class every year for about 5 years to lecture on leadership. We would always talk about the village and pretty small world. So yeah, if you're in Akis and Akis, you are from Crete. Isn't that funny? I know. There's a picture of me somewhere, me and Michael Dukakis and his wife Kitty, if I can find it, from back in those days when I was teaching leadership at USC, and if I can find it, I'll post it for you. But he's a dear human being and a very, very gifted public servant, in my opinion. Okay, so I've got all my love stones around my fluorite. Isn't that funny? So again, this is manifesting. If your purpose is love, how are you going to invite that energy in, right? Okay, and then down here around the heart crystal that I attached, see that? It's kind of hard to see because it's clear and the wand is clear. It's coming along, right? I think I'm going to use a combination. Actually, what I'm feeling called to do is to put the moonstone around the heart. So again, I'm going to take my glue down the side of the crystal. Do you see that? And then in a very non-Virgo way, because this is a Libra full moon. See, if this was a Virgo full moon, there'd be a lot of pressure to make it perfect. But Libras don't try to make things perfect. Libras are about creativity and the process. So Libras are not going to worry about it if it's not perfect. So here I am. I'm kind of encrusting my quartz with moonstone. Again, moonstone is all about expansion, manifestation. And then this crystal represents my heart. Do you see it? Yeah. Oh, and I love this. Check this out, guys. I hope that stays. I'm actually feeling inspired. I'm going to draw the line of glue down a little bit below the heart because it actually looked really pretty that some of the crystals fell down there. I'll show you in just a second. Isn't that pretty? Like it kind of extended the line of the heart down. And then I'm going to bring the line of the glue up the other side. And then over here, yeah, I'm going to stay with the moonstone. I'm going to finish the heart on the other side with the moonstone. And again, I'm just imagining that my heart is expanding to receive love from all directions, all sources. I'm receiving love, I'm receiving support, I'm receiving encouragement and good news. I'm expanding what's possible for myself. I'm allowing my desires to take shape. And I'm allowing myself to feel free as I imagine what's possible. Right? And then every time you work with this wand, it's going to represent that for you. Isn't that fun? Yeah, the heart is just a clear quartz point that I had that had kind of a flat back. So I was able to glue it. These aren't like fancy crystals, you know what I mean? They're just little bits and bobs that I had laying around. And you probably have a few things in your collection too that would work just well, you know, perfectly for what your intention is. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Crochet up here, it looks a little empty. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. actually quite happy with that. So under this full moon, my purpose is love, and I attract love, I magnify love, and I manifest love. Under this full moon, my purpose is to magnify the energies around me, and I magnify what I'm manifesting. I magnify what I desire and what I'm creating. Now, I didn't put any pyrite on there, but I'll tell you something. You don't always have to use every single thing. I'm not feeling like pyrite is part of it for me right now. It's not so much a confidence issue in my life, what I'm challenged by right now. It's about keeping my heart open. It's been a rough year. There were times this year that I lost some faith. Just being candid with you, I lost a little bit of faith at certain points this year. I didn't lose all faith, and I didn't get wildly depressed or discouraged, but there were moments where I was like, what? Do you know what I mean? And I want that I want that wild faith to come with the dawn, like Eos, you know? So if you lost a little faith, and I think it's good to tell each other that, you know what I mean? I don't think it makes us weak or anything. I think it makes us human, you know? Now, here's the last part of the ritual. Yeah, I mean, I love having you guys and being able to say that, because I don't put lipstick on a pig, to quote my grandmother. When I'm having a hard time, I'm just like, you know what, I'm having a hard time. And I'm not right now, but I did at certain points this year feel quite sad. Yeah. So I feel like this is a tool of rebirthing for me. You know? Yeah. Wild faith. So, Eos, goddess of the dawn. Tonight, under this full moon, I call upon you as I wrap this wand in faith to rekindle my wild faith and my wild passion and my wild heart. And I call these energies in with love and divine trust. I do. Calling it in. You know? I lost 2 friends in the last 12 months, and I don't know. I'm sitting with all of that too. So my heart needs a little healing, for sure. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you mine, and then I want you to show me yours. Please take pictures. If you did this with me, I would love for you to post some pictures on the event page. And I'm going to tell you something. Every time we do this, yours are so much better than mine, and I have no ego about this. I love that you are better artists than I am most of the time. It's totally okay with me. Now, and I did this with the last time we did wands. If you post a picture of your wand on our event page, I'm going to give you till Friday. I'm going to choose a winner, or 2 maybe, and I'm going to send you gorgeous crystals and ribbons and things to decorate another wand as my gift. So I want to challenge you to do this craft either tonight or sometime in the next week. I'm going to give you till Friday. Alexis and Hannah will help me. And if you post a picture on our event page, I'm going to choose a couple winners, and I'm going to send you a whole bunch of pretty ribbons and crystals from my collection to help you keep your wand crafting going. So enjoy and good luck. I'm looking forward to seeing what you make, and it was super fun to make this in your presence. So now let's dedicate this. The full moon's a great time to dedicate a new tool. So, and I'm going to open our circle with it tonight. Ready? I dedicate this tool, this gorgeous selenite wand, to wild faith and divine, beautiful, creative inspiration that comes from sources seen and unseen. and a love that cannot be tamed by any human forces. Amen, aho, and so it is. It can totally be with a stick. I don't care what you use to enter this. You do not have to use the craft from tonight. You can post any picture of your wand, but you got to make it this week. It has to be something you make this week, not something you made before, right? No, CJD, anybody who crafts, I'm open to it. I want to see what you make. Maybe you got something even more interesting than this to work with. I just want to see it. Okay. Wouldn't be a full moon without a little drumming. I'm so excited to see what you make. Thank you for that. Mr. Matormo, I see you. So under this full moon tonight, Great Spirit, guides and guardians, ascended masters, spirit teachers, ancestors in the light, loved ones looking down upon us from where they are. Under this full moon in Libra, we call in love, creativity, harmony in our relationships, pathways to creative expression, and openness to new ideas, new principles. Yeah, I leave my ribbon on Sea Party, but I like the ribbons. You know, you don't have to use it. You can leave it off if you don't like it. All right, give it to me in the feed. Ready? What are you calling in tonight? What are you illuminating with all this beautiful moonlight? We have no eclipse activity. It's just wide open tonight. Bring it in. What are you manifesting? What are you illuminating? What are you allowing? What are you receiving? Harmony, faith and flow. What are you creating? What's your art? What do you do that nobody else can do the way you do it? Is it the way you love, the way you cook, the way you sew, the way you knit? I love it. Financial prosperity, passion, open the door. What do we lighten up tonight? Manifesting, allowing. Remember, at the full moon, we don't release. We're not letting anything go tonight. That light isn't a releasing light. That light is an illuminating, attracting, allowing, receiving gratitude, right? It's blowing up the balloon. We're not deflating, we're inflating. Your words, your mystery, your passion, your humor, confidence, creativity, financial freedom. That's right. Health, love, ease, flow, bring it to me. Joy. Children's books, yes! As a writer, I'm just like, yes! I wish my friends would write more, and I wish my friends would make more videos. I have so many friends on Facebook where I'm like, I wish I could see you more. You know, like, make your stuff, get it out there. What are you afraid of? If you're afraid somebody's gonna reject you, of course they're gonna reject you. Who cares? I can help you with that. The scariest thing to me is a rejection. It's not living my purpose. That's scary, right? It's getting to the end and going, I didn't do it because I was afraid of what people were gonna think. That's right. Oop. Love it. Laughter, abundance, getting your certificate and whatever it is you're seeking. That's fantastic. Reaching a higher vibration. Attractive purpose. That's beautiful, Jeanette. Great Spirit, see us tonight. Put us on the right pathway. Align us with the exact frequency to attract what we need, what we seek, what we desire. We feel your breath, breath of life, the breath of hope. Remember that the word inspiration means to take the spirit within. Spirit, come within. New pathways, new possibilities, new spaciousness, new ideas, new resources, new people, new relationships, new love. New prosperity, new abundance. It's all available, it's all happening. We receive, we receive, we receive. Say it. I receive, I receive, I receive. And I am grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. I am here. I am here. I am here. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. And I flow. I flow. I flow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And from the east they say, and from the south they say, and from the west they say, and from the north they say. And it is here. You have already all of the gifts, all of the knowledge, all of the wisdom, all of the opportunity you need. But you have to say yes and get really brave and grateful. And you got to take the first step. I look back on my path now, and when I really started to see things happen was when I finally said, I'm going to take a step. I'm going to move forward in faith. And it was like a burst of wind or a gust of wind came behind me. But until I did that, it was like there was no momentum. Do you know what I mean? In physics, an article or an object in motion will stay in motion, right? An object at rest will stay at rest. These are fundamental principles of physics that you would have learned in college, right? So an object in motion stays in motion, an object at rest stays at rest. You have to take these fundamental scientific theorems, this is what I do as a trained scientist, and then figure out how to make them applicable, right? When you start making progress, you're going to keep making progress. If you just sit still and go, I'm waiting for the universe to manifest it, you're going to be waiting for a really long time. So I hope you'll take this first step under this full moon, because everything is behind you, waiting. Right? A step to do whatever you want to do, Grandmaster. It's what's in your heart. What is it for you? Is it a job, a relationship, a business, a book you want to write, a song you want to write, a place you want to travel to? First step, what would it be? And only you know what that is. But releasing the energy from tonight's circle with so much gratitude. And together we say, Amen, Aho. And so it is. Take the step. It can be a tiny step. It can be such a tiny step. It can literally be you opening your journal tonight and saying, I'm going to take the first step. That's a step. It can be changing the way you eat. It can be opening yourself to love. It can be deciding that you're worthy of beauty, right? Like, whatever it is. It can be, launching your website or just saving a URL or, a domain name for something that you're going to do one day. These are all first steps. It has to begin somewhere. And you are so worthy of all of the things that you desire. You really are. There's no one more worthy than you. But the tide will turn once you believe it too. That was kind of a poem that I just did. So, with love, let's extinguish our candle tonight. And give thanks to the beautiful energies that surround us this evening, and now to this beautiful tool that you have that you can work with. And it will always remind you that at this full moon in 2021, you committed to you and to the rising of a new day, the dawn. And you called in the energies of one of the most important Greek goddesses of all time to give you the faith and courage you need to do just that. And I'm so glad you were here tonight. Why don't you have faith, Paula? I don't know, because you're human and we all lose our faith sometimes. I've lost my faith before, but then I get it back. It's okay to lose your faith. It's okay to be sad and scared sometimes. That happens to all of us. It's what you do after that that makes the difference, right? We've all had moments where we feel like we want to give up, or is it worth it? You know, you get discouraged, or you've had your heart broken, which has happened to me many times. But somehow you decide that it is worth it, you know? And the best chapter of your book may be the one that isn't written yet. And I believe that to be true. Every time I thought about giving up, I didn't, and something great happened. Every single time. And so I have some proof, you know, in my own life. But I've had those moments where I've been like, I don't know. But I'm glad I kept pushing through. If I hadn't pushed through the last time, we wouldn't be sitting here together, right? When I got very ill a decade ago, I really didn't want to try again. Because illness will do that. But I'm really glad that I did, because we literally wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation if I hadn't. So I'm thankful to the people who came to me and said to me exactly what I'm saying to you, which is keep going. Find your faith. There's something in you. There's a little voice that knows this to be true. And it's something to follow. And I'm grateful that you're here with me too. Thank you, Jason. I really appreciate you. Well, wild faith is wild because sometimes it seems ridiculous to have faith. I've had so many people in my life tell me, really, are you going to do that? Or, oh, that's crazy. Or, well, you shouldn't expect that because you might get disappointed, or other things. And yet it's all come to pass. And that's not because I'm special. It's not. It's not because I'm better than you, or I know more than you, or anything. It's just because somewhere deep inside me I was able to summon this extraordinary faith. But you come from really powerful ancestors who got through some real tricky situations. And so when you lose your faith, remember who they are. You stand on big shoulders. You can get through almost anything, right? Where can you get a drum like that? I don't know, but it's just a Remo drum. It's my favorite. I love frame drums. I really do. It's really yummy to play, so enjoy that one. Okay, so next month, we're done for tonight. Next month, your tools are these. Next month, can I just tell you, next month's ceremony is so different from this month. Like, it literally couldn't be more different. We have 1/3 of the kits left. 2/3 have sold out already today for next month's full moon. We are working with Morgana, who is one of our favorite goddesses of all time. This is Morgana. Oops, so I just dropped my oils. Next month's full moon is in Scorpio, and she is the goddess of mystery. Do you like the way we rendered Morgana? This is Sage Goddess original art for Morgana, and I love it so much. Next month, we're making perfume together. We're making passion potion. And so you've got all your oils in your kit. You're getting plum kernel oil, ylang ylang oil, which is an aphrodisiac. You're getting ginger oil, which is an aphrodisiac, and Damiana. Damiana is such a powerful aphrodisiac that in certain places you can't even buy it. And this little dram is worth almost 1/3 of your kit. in cost. Damiana essential oil, which is what this is, pure stuff, is so expensive. So that's why this kit sold out or is selling out so quickly, because the ingredients are really valuable and beautiful, and I think you're going to have so much fun making perfume with me next month. Now, if you get your kit before midnight tonight, this is what's really exciting. One person is going to win this wand, which is made of malachite with chrysocolla and Lemurian quartz with copper. Isn't it gorgeous? This is the ultimate divine feminine healing wand. And then they're getting 2 bottles of the original Morgana perfume. So this is almost, it's $800 to $850 value, because the perfumes alone together are worth, I think, $130, $140, and then you've got the wand. So good luck. If you get your kit by midnight, assuming they're still here, you'll be entered to win this, and this is going to just ship with the tools of one person who gets their kit tonight. Isn't that gorgeous? Even if you're not buying the kit, check out the lines in the Lemurian quartz. It's one of the, do you see how you can really, they're indented in that quartz. It's one of the most beautiful Lemurian points I have ever seen on a wand. Isn't that magnificent? And then look, the way it fits in your hand, it literally is like it was made to be held. And then you've got chrysocolla on the back. But it's like it's meant to have your fingers around it. This is a very powerful healing wand. So it's one of a kind. Good luck. You have until midnight to get your tools. And your code for 19% off at sagegoddess.com is 19full. So don't forget your code, because it takes 19% off that kit too. 19full. Isn't it gorgeous? You know. So I'm gonna beam some healing from my heart to you tonight under this beautiful full moon. I'm just directing as much healing and comfort and hope to you as I can tonight, and hoping that you sense it and feel it, and that it vibrates through that screen, that it blesses you in every way tonight. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. Isn't it gorgeous? Good luck. I know it is. Well, it's very, I've been holding on to this wand. As soon as we decided on Morgana, look at the etchings on the quartz. As soon as we decided on Morgana, which I think was in November of last year, November or December, I set this wand aside for tonight. It's been sitting here in my crystal room waiting for tonight. So in addition to all of its own magic, it's literally been sitting here for the last 3 months waiting for you. So it's been absorbing all the energy of the holidays and the ceremonies and all the work that I do here. So now it gets to come home to a very good home. So good luck, everybody. Enjoy. Like I said, we had about 1/3 of the kits left before I went live. So I'm hoping if you want one, you'll be able to get one. And then we'll make perfume together next month. All right, enjoy, you guys. Happy full moon. We have no eclipses, so go put your crystals outside, charge them to your heart's content. You can make moon water tonight. Get yourself a mason jar. I put it in a mason jar. It's nothing fancy. And get that mason jar, some nice distilled or good filtered water, and get that out under the full moon light tonight, and then use that to make your tea. Drink that all the way till the new moon. That's a great ritual. Drink a little bit of your full moon water or tea until the next cycle. And I will look forward to seeing you soon. Soul Shift, we have class tomorrow. Don't forget, session 3. Starts at 4 p.m. We have live readings starting at 2 p.m. So I'm looking forward to seeing you for class. If you're not my student, Dave and I will be here with our live Sage Goddess Gem Sale on Tuesday from 3 to 6 p.m. So we hope you can join us for that. And in the meantime, have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you soon. Thank you, Hannah, and thank you, Alexis, and thank you, Claire, for being there this Sunday evening. Happy Palm Sunday, and holy, everybody, Passover blessings. We'll see you soon.